is Dr. John Douillard, and I want to talk to you today about how to be blissed out when you work out. You know, in my book, Body, Mind, and Sport, we did research comparing the difference between breathing through your nose and breathing through your mouth when you exercise. And what we found was amazing. We found that when you breathe through your nose, it actually changes your brain chemistry. We found that when you breathe through your nose, it actually creates a brain wave alpha state, a composure and calm, a meditative state that we now know is actually the same state that athletes have when they're in the runner's high, the zone, when they say, my best race is my easiest race. When Roger Bannister broke the 4-minute mile, he said, I felt like I was going slow. I felt as if the world was standing still, yet he was running faster than any man alive. This kind of euphoric state isn't so difficult to reproduce, and when you breathe, you create a chemistry that allows you to rejuvenate and repair and be composed and calm under stress versus being stressed out. So I wrote an article detailing every aspect, every benefit of nasal breathing. A lot of it's taken from the research we did in my Body, Mind, Sport book, but that was 20 years ago I wrote that book. So there's lots of really new insights from the scientific perspective that we've gleaned over the years that I've written about in this article. So I encourage you to take a look at that. A couple of highlights. One, we know that when you breathe through the nose has turbines, little turbinates that engineer the air all the way down into the lower lobes of your lungs, where the calm air, where the calm nerves are. We have these baroreceptors in the lungs that are predominantly parasympathetic or rejuvenative in the lower lobes of your lungs. If you saw a bear in the woods, chances are you wouldn't go like this. Chances are you would go, take an upper chest, gasping breath, and you got it. The stress receptors are in the upper chest, and they're really activated by a gasp, and that's exactly what we do when we get stressed out. So if you want to be blissed out when you exercise, why don't we create blissed out brain waves by actually breathing through our nose, activating this calm response that flips the brain into an alpha state. It's a little bit more difficult to breathe through the nose, so most people find themselves suffocating, so that's why they don't do it. But usually within a couple of weeks, you find that you learn how to do this, and I write about how to accomplish that. So it is something, a skill that we have to relearn. As infants, scientists tell us that we're preferred or obligate nose breathers, that humans are generally nasal breathing species, and we are designed to breathe through our nose and eat and talk through our mouth. Well, we don't do a lot of that anymore, and as a result of breathing upper chest, the rib cage becomes tighter and tighter and tighter and cage-like, and we have this rib cage that becomes tight, and we start breathing like little rabbits. 26,000 little upper chest emergency breaths per day, telling you that your life is an emergency, telling you that we need to, store fat and crave sugar and create an abundance of adrenaline, stress-fighting hormones, which we know are degenerative and toxic, and overwhelm our system with stress simply because you're breathing 26,000 times a day in the upper chest, and that's how we have to breathe 26,000 times. So why not breathe into the lower lobes of your lungs, where you have 60 to 80% of your blood, calming nerve receptors, and activate a neurological calm by breathing deeply through your nose. And why not use exercise as a model for stress? Exercise is a stress. Why not learn how to breathe deeply while you're exercising to tell your body that when I'm under stress, I can breathe into those lower lobes of the lungs. When you breathe, I also talk about using a breath called the Ujjayi breath, or an ocean breath, a yoga breathing technique, to force the abdominal muscles to contract. It sounds like this. And if you do that breath, you'll notice that your abdominal muscles naturally contract. And when that contracts, and you do this only during the exhalation, when you do it, you contract your abdominal muscles, it forces what's called abdominal diaphragmatic cardiac massage. And there's a nerve on your heart called the vagus nerve, which when it gets contracted by this abdominal diaphragmatic massage, it triggers the alpha state in your brain, and all of a sudden you're calm under stress. I call it the eye of the hurricane effect. The bigger the calm, the more powerful the winds. We can reproduce that by relearning how to breathe correctly versus breathing like a rabbit under stress, learning to breathe more deeply. The rib cage over time becomes a cage squeezing on your heart and your lungs. There should be 12 levers massaging your heart and lungs fully, moving lymphatic fluid in and out of your rib cage back to your heart to support circulation. It actually pumps lymph from the lower abdomen back to the heart to get the waste out of your abdominal cage where your digestive strength is, so you can get it out of your legs and your cellulite and lower abdominal reproductive system better. It's all about lymphatic drainage, and the big time pump is not only muscular contraction, but rib movement and breathing. Your breathing turns out to be one of the most powerful detoxifying devices. When you breathe, you get rid of waste, and you do it 26,000 times per day. But if you only breathe, you're not accessing 80%, up to 80% of the blood supply in the lower lobes of the lungs, where you can exchange the waste better, so we become an inefficient, detoxifying breathing machine. You follow me? So these are all like so logical, biomechanical things that happen. And when we measured this, we asked the athletes when they did the study before and after exercise with mouth and nose breathing, when they were exercising with their mouth, we asked them on a scale of 1 to 10 how they felt. They were all maxed out at a 10. They felt terrible. The same kids came back the next day, did the exact same workout, and their perception of the same workout was a 4 out of 10. So that tells me that you could be living your life, exercising, straining at a 10 out of 10, maxing out, feeling exhausted, producing crazy frenetic brain waves, stress-fighting hormones that are degenerative and make you store fat. Or you could be doing the same workout, feeling out of 4 out of 10, feeling like it's effortless and easy, and enjoying the process. So to become a blissful exerciser, have a blissed out workout, think about learning how to be a really good nose breather. It takes a little time, a little practice, but I give you lots of tips in this article about how to do that and how to maximize your respiratory capacity, because the benefits are way beyond blissful exercise. There are really so many benefits regarding the optimal health, cardiovascular health, digestive health, and our overall health and well-being. Thank you for listening. I'm Dr. John.
This recording is brought to you by LifeSpa, where ancient Ayurvedic wisdom meets modern science. Get access to free health video newsletters by Dr. John at lifespa.com.